The race is on in the search for nickel, a critical battery metal in hot demand. And the world's biggest miner, BHP, wants to increase its stake in the game.
We're actively exploring globally, and we've significantly increased our own exploration spend within the portfolio of the land tenure that we have.
As the world moves to decarbonise, BHP thinks 9 in 10 of us will soon be driving EVs, and those car batteries need nickel.
We see a 60% increase in electric vehicles, and then out to 2040 we see that almost going up another 30% to 90%.
It's a far cry from 2009, when BHP closed its Ravensthorpe nickel mine in Western Australia, less than a year after opening it, when commodity prices tanked after the global financial crisis. Now, the shiny metal is back in favour, with BHP trying to increase supply, launching an $8 billion takeover bid for nickel and copper miner Oz Minerals after securing deals with Tesla, Toyota and Ford. While much of the focus has been on lithium, each Tesla battery contains about 50 kilograms of nickel.
Our battery should be called nickel graphite because it's mostly nickel and graphite.
The CSIRO predicts by 2050, more than 5 times as much nickel will be needed than lithium to meet global demand for EVs and battery storage, worth more than $770 billion. Australia produced about 6% of the world's nickel supply in 2019. It's not just BHP that wants to increase that. The road to electrification begins in places like this, 400 metres underground at IGO's Nova mine, where last year more than 25,000 tonnes of nickel metal in concentrate was mined. IGO just increased its nickel production by at least 60% after buying another producer, Western Areas, for $1.3 billion.
Over the next 20 to 30 years, we really need to replace the energy that we get from fossil fuels today, and to harness that properly we need more batteries.
The Western Areas deal also gives IGO a significant stake in Panoramic, a nickel miner in the north of Western Australia that it tried to buy in 2019.
They have 21% of the company, they're a supportive shareholder, and we could coexist.
Most of the nickel mined in the world actually goes into making stainless steel, with only a small percentage used for batteries.
It's about 15% now of the global nickel demand market. So that's certainly grown from basically nothing a few years ago, and the expectations are that will move into the 20s and 30% of the total and beyond that over time as the EV market gets larger and larger.
That demand is likely to lead to more mergers among miners.
As others and developers start moving closer towards production, maybe we'll see further shifts in asset ownership.
Because finding new deposits isn't easy.
The governments have to be able to open up more ground and support exploration. Otherwise, we won't have any resources to actually feed through this infrastructure that we might build.
Nickel miner Mincor Resources, which is also ramping up production, says we could be on the cusp of a new commodity boom.
It's almost like when iron ore with the Chinese infrastructure boom. That took off, and nickel's very similar. So the price has gone up, which has enabled projects to get off the ground. If you can produce clean, green nickel, because it will be traced right through to the vehicle, you've probably got a pretty good future ahead of you.
A shiny way forward for Australian mining.